track.
It would be nice if we didn't have these errors. Okay, let me see if we can follow Mikey-san. And indeed, I am not friends with him. Let me friend him again. Or no, it says I am friends with him, but he wasn't in the list for some reason. That's kind of weird.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so how many games are we in? Okay, this is the second
Yeah,
game.
they just finished game 1 and it went down to a time scramble. Also, we have a legend in chat.
We do. Physician is in the chat. GG's Radon. Thanks so much for letting us watch and putting on a fun show there. Congratulations on your win. Let me give another shout out to Radon 4PC. Oh, oops. What the heck happened there? Okay. Radon 4PC. So the guy we're watching here, Mikey-san, is also a streamer, and he is actually streaming this match right now. I'm going to shout him out, and if you wanted to see the match with the partner communication of him and chanemasta, then you could watch his stream. So this is a match in the open section, which means they're playing a 2-0 time control, 2-minute time control, and the win condition is first to 9 games with win by 2.
Yeah, we've got two very closely rated teams here. I'm actually not familiar with the 2200 player Vendango.
I'm not as well. They both seem to be from Lithuania. So I'm not sure if these guys are friends with each other in real life. But also sometimes if people enter the tournament without a set partner, we try to partner people together from the same country for language and time zone reasons. So that's possible as well.
These two players, I believe, registered together as a team.
Okay.
Oh. They played some strange moves. Vendango finally realized that, attacking is pretty good in Bughouse.
Yeah, so this is mate for Vendango because knight at g4. That wasn't the right place to put the knight, but probably still mate.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, bishop check.
Yeah, bishop at c4. Okay, well, this move order also is made into.
Probably still mate as well.
Checkmates with the pawn. Okay. He earns the Scary Snake seal of approval.
Scary Snake seal of approval right there. Our score is now 2-0. Favoring Vendango and FCLitras. It looks like hold on, let me unfollow the guy from the previous match so we don't have some.
Well, they haven't started the next. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Okay. So chanemasta apparently says GG after every game, which I do not recommend.
Yeah, don't give these guys the satisfaction of feeling they accomplished something.
So what about pre-game? Are you a GLHF kind of guy, or are you just an HF?
I'm not a GLHF. I'm a let's just play the first game.
He's a GTFO kind of guy.
Okay.
So FCLitras is sacking. He already has the knight in hand, so it's a reasonable sack. Knight takes pawn. And
Bishop G6 even. Or
this pawn really. Pawn is great too. Yeah, I liked your move as well. Pawn check. I mean, you're just trading even, so it's fine. Take that.
Whoa, that's
Queen G4. Let's go.
Queen G4 followed by bishop at F5, maybe though. You could also play H4, just to protect the knight. Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. Queen H5.
Oh dear.
Very nice mate from FCLitras. So that's a demonstration of, like, often I'm not a fan of sack sit-in, but there he already had the pieces in his hand, so he didn't have to wait for his partner to hand stuff to him, and he didn't even give his opponents the opportunity to stall to prevent the pieces from coming. They were already there. So absolutely sack in that case.
Oh, Mike with a Saxon, but no follow up, and Vendango already getting safe. Oh, but not gonna let him get away that easy.
When you say no follow up, like I've watched a lot of mikeysan streams, and I've played against him a bunch, and he is fairly good at creating magic out of nothing. So a knight would win the queen. So yeah, pawn takes pawn is a natural move. So yeah, he sacks it a lot, but somehow he often gets the pieces he wants.
Well, in this case, I think his opponent helped him out a little with the
yeah, they often do.
Which,
yeah, my man's is committed to sitting for this knight.
Vendango strikes me as the kind of player who kind of played Bughouse with people outside of sort of like the known group, because he seems good but inexperienced.
Yeah, that could be it. Also, I'm looking at them. They
And
both have fairly high
just to
blitz
clarify
ratings.
for the audience, when you say good but inexperienced, what I think what he means by that is he's probably played a lot of Bughouse games, but not a lot against like higher rated players.
Yeah.
So in other words, that a player who's played a lot but not against higher rated players has probably learned a lot how to attack lower rated players, but not necessarily how to attack or defend against higher rated players who know what they're doing and don't like leave holes in their position.
Oh, chainemaster hangs d4. He gets g7 in response, but I think the d4 pawn was more important. Just king g8 here. Okay, this is probably okay, but king g8 was a lot safer, leaving that knight next to the king.
Knight at h5 looks mildly scary.
It does.
Yeah, but if you only have one knight, I think we're fine. But I definitely would have gone king g8. There's no reason to allow.
So if he were up time, then queen takes knight would be a threat. Queen takes knight, and then a pawn would mate if you take back the queen. Queen takes g4. And I think he's hoping that they will move and give a pawn, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Lithuanians are too good at coordinating. They're going to sit it down.
So mikeysan and chainemaster are probably just thinking of a move here, but
another possible move is
queen
d2. Queen d2 put in more pressure on the h6 square.
And there's also this line that Fuzz pointed out where you can go knight at h5 and then queen g4, with the idea being after takes you have knight f6 and you win the queen back. Well, even in that position, like a pawn still mates. But... Okay, so he goes this. Yeah, smart decision from FCLitras. The material doesn't matter; it's keeping his. Oh, that you can take the queen.
That is not a smart decision. So, the knight still mates. But yeah, he waited too long for it. Got to rattle off some moves. So our score right now is, I believe, 4-0. Is that right, or is it 3-0?
Yes, that is correct.
4-0.
Yeah.
And FCLitras demonstrating a point that I've actually pointed out in a lot of, especially the lower rated matches. When you're in a time scramble, the material matters less. Like if you were to try and win his opponent's queen there, it's unlikely that his partner is going to get time to make use of that queen before time runs out. So all he focused on was securing his safe king, and he was rewarded for it. He didn't get checkmated, and his opponent lost some time.
Yeah, absolutely true.
Yo, Vendango's pushing all of his pawns. Okay, he's a chess player.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've found the chess player.
Yeah, I thought that push was okay. He's got a lot of space to run around.
Oh, I'm not even saying that's bad. I'm just saying.
Now bishop takes pawn.
No, this might be okay.
I think you go back to g5, but then you give Vendango the rook file.
I actually even thought of dropping on pawn on g5 just to.
Ooh, I like that bishop move.
Yeah,
So he's threatening
pawn e4
h7.
doesn't-
Let's see if mikeysan notices.
Well, he does, which is why I played pawn e4, but he didn't count to 2, so his opponent took that, and he's got the same
Counted is
problem.
important. Hey, King of Kings, thanks for watching.
We don't want to play h6 here because bishop takes h6 looks really good for white. We also don't want to play g6 because it's g6.
So by process of
if-
elimination, what is it you recommend?
Sitting, exactly what they're doing now.
The time is real close though. I don't know if sit-in
I mean,
is
g6
really
is less
an
bad,
option.
I think.
So
Then
they've
h6.
lost 2 time scrambles so far. I don't know if we can assume they lost these because they were the slower team. Like in the first time scramble was the game where you guys weren't here.
Let me tell you what I would play, by the way, which is maybe unusual. I would play bishop h4 to disconnect the rook and potentially sack the queen.
So after rook h4 is your idea?
Then queen takes. At least you're safe.
In a scramble, that would probably be a pretty good move, actually, because then the material wouldn't really matter.
Oh, but their sit-in has paid off because the other team moved and gave mikeysan the material he needed to weather the storm.
Yeah, mikeysan just needs to keep defending here. I like taking on h6 and putting the rook there and then putting a dag down.
Oh, knight takes
trading the
g7.
queens.
The bane of attacks.
This is, I said before, this is what mikeysan likes to do. He likes to get in the time scramble and just attack the bejesus out of his opponent. So
Yeah,
this is his wheelhouse.
In that time scramble. Yeah, because the time scrambles that they lost, I think, were because they were sitting for pieces or because they started the time scramble downtime. So that was a time scramble where they both had about equal time, and the mikeysan and chainmaster team just moved faster in the scramble. So I would not be afraid to sit it down more often as this team, actually.
Yeah. The score right now is 4-1, favoring the Lithuanian team of Vendango and FCLitras. Thank you for the follow from King of Kings Chess. Really appreciate it.
Who shall henceforth be known as the Lits.
Okay. So Vendango poached a pawn. Again, something you would expect a chess player to do.
Poached. Goodness.
But that is a free knight.
It is, but that exposes... no, it's actually not a free knight, because bishop takes knight, queen takes queen, knight check, and you win it back.
That's true.
Not that he will take the bishop. I believe mikeysan will continue attacking, because that's the kind of player he is. He did take it eventually.
Yeah, I need to put some respect on mikeysan's name. I was out here blasting this man, talking about you just gave up your piece, and he's like, snakes, watch this. And I watched, and I've learned. So we can take the turn and then go pawn at f6
again.
Yeah, pawn at f6 is quite good. You can't take that because then pawn at g7, knight out.
In this position,
bishop or pawn at f6, very good. Gotta watch out for a draw though. Which team would the draw favor is the question.
Probably.
I think the draw would
no
be
draw
good
coming. So this is an intermezzo move that resets the whole draw thing. So
the question is, do you block with the rook because you're downtime? He
does. I think you have to.
Rook over, maybe. I guess not.
Yeah, if I'm mikeysan and chainmaster, I would love to have a draw here because I think they're lost on both boards. Yeah, chainmaster is doing the classic where I'm not moving because I don't have any good moves.
Yeah, you got to keep moving though.
I think FC can just sit. I mean, this is an easy chessing. He's up a queen.
I mean, queen at f8. There's no blocker, and that's just game. So okay, how do we? So as mikeysan, I guess you have to go like rook g8. But
I mean,
you're not
yeah, but then you lose immediately after rook takes g2. There's no surviving here. He's just.
Yeah, I think I'm pre-moving Rook HG2 here. Like, I'm gonna give my opponent enough respect that I assume that he can defend against Queen at F8. And yeah, because Rook G2, even if you had played H3, you can't take my Rook because Queen at F8 is still a threat. Opponent G6, good. He's hunkering down. Queen at F6 and then knight at E8.
Yeah, I like Queen at F6.
Now it's going to be a scramble though, so if mikeysan can hold on, I think they're a slightly faster team. And he's
I know what mikeysan is doing, and he's not trying to hold on. He is trying to flag or mate his opponent.
Yeah, chainmaster can't move
again,
fast
this
enough
is his wheelhouse.
Rook H7, yep.
Very, very nice move. So that's a mate threat with the queen in.
Yeah, that chainmaster was having to defend every turn, and it was not an easy defense to make, so he couldn't just pre-move all in the scramble.
Right. But so at the end, mikeysan, his checks ran out, and it was just because he was anti-pre-moves, basically. He anticipated his opponent making a different move, and he ended up not checking, and then it was dead after that.
Oh god, is this the Robbie defense? Oh, here we go. Oh no, he caved. Does he wait for the knight? Or
Well, there's the
I guess he
knight.
needs more than a knight. Oof.
Maybe like bishop g5, or what's the move here? Okay, he's just gonna defend.
Rook d1, maybe?
Yeah. Bishop f4 or bishop g5, but I like bishop f4. Pick up the queen.
Oh, knight takes. Oh god, there's some terrible things about to happen.
There's a lot of terrible things about to happen.
You don't have any knight moves yet because I like
because
this
the queen takes queen. Yeah, I like that move. Yeah, trading the queen seems reasonable. That knight is pinned, so.
Oh no! He's trying to play knight d5 right now.
He is.
He's clicking. He's like, "Why is this site bugged? What's happening?"
Oh, but he found a way to play.
The
A pawn check. You can grab that knight. You could also play pawn at f6. Or you could take the bishop. There's a lot of possibilities.
I wonder if you even consider. No, you don't take the bishop. It's too slow.
He does have to watch out for bishop check on the dark square. Yeah, and that's what we're seeing.
King takes.
Ooh, queen on the back. Queen at the back would be good if that rook hadn't come. It would have been pretty crushing, actually. This is the point. If pawn takes bishop, like you can't. You can't play knight takes because there's a smothered mate threat. There's a smothered mate threat anyway at d6.
I think you go queen at c1 just to make him give up a rook.
He missed the smothered mate. Knight at d6 is mate.
Yeah, that could end up costing them. No, that was very insightful commentary. I just made it could end up costing them.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you're aware of that.
Very, very non-committal. Okay, so queen mates for chanemasta, but I don't think it's coming. Chanemasta is down an enormous amount of pieces.
There was knight h6, which was mating, but this is also mating, which is queen g7.
Yeah, chainmaster should have promoted instead of taking on c3.
Chainmaster just doesn't have moves here.
Well, yeah, at this point he's toast. Oh, not a check, but that not like it matters too much. I would still just out of
now mate can happen.
Okay, if he just keeps dropping pieces with check, I imagine eventually it'll work.
And they actually made it on both boards. That's
Mikey-san missing
double
that.
mate. Yeah, Mikey-san missing mate in 1 cost him dearly.
Because this match is still very winnable.
Yeah, it looks like it's 1-6 right now.
Maybe not very winnable right now, but if you're looking at 2-5 and we've had a couple of close time scrambles that could have gone our way, it would have been a very different story potentially.
Right.
Why are they? I mean, can he not see his own score?
Well, sometimes there are aborts, so he might not.
I don't
whether they aborted a game or not.
there were any aborts.
You know, they did not abort in this match. They played the first game, and I was here for it.
Okay.
That's all anyone could ever ask for.
Well, I didn't see the first game, so I'm glad someone did.
The guidance of the snake is a glorious thing.
Okay, chanemasta has pretty good development, so a pawn would be good for e7, or a knight for h5. Okay, he's going to throw a bishop in.
Does nothing.
I still like knight at h5. Okay, he's going to defend.
Let's stop starting with bishop at h3. I'd like to secure our light scores. Yeah, I'm going to take all of these.
Pawn to g3. Yeah, I like it. Take that.
Okay. Vendango secures his light squares because we didn't have enough pieces on those.
Even knight at e4, because if knight takes, pawn takes, and you can take the pinned piece.
Alright, pawn at d7 for chanemasta. Pawn e6 I don't like as much because the knight's covering f7. FCLitras can just take this bishop on h3.
Grab the bishop. Maybe push g5.
Excuse me?
King.
Oh.
King?
That's getting scary. Yeah, like a rook or knight is quite good. Take the pawn on g6.
The queen comes in 1 and they're down time. The king takes f7 was suspicious. So here you have a conversation with your partner. Would you like to die or should I do the honors? Because either FCLitras gives a queen that mates his partner in 1. Okay, FCLitras said I'm selfish. Like you take the L for this one.
Yeah. But our score is now 6-2. So the underdogs are coming back a bit.
Fuzz, would you have taken that bullet for me?
Of course.
Chuck, would you have taken that bullet for me?
Not in a million years.
Oh no! All right. Fuzz, I'd take it for you too, and that is a lie, but I said it, so I want some credit for it.
You know what? It does mean a lot that you at least have the decency to lie to me.
Yeah, I would always lie to you, and not to spare your feelings, to spare my reputation.
So a bishop for g3 would be quite good. Even a pawn there would be helpful, but
I like knight at f4 for Mikey-san.
Yeah, I don't know why he's waiting.
Yeah, no, I don't know why Mikey-san is waiting. Moving the knight to f4 makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, that's a free pawn.
I wanted to leave that knight on g6 because it felt like a nice square to have it on.
I would put a bishop on f4 to tempo the queen. And if something lands on e3, we could just take it.
Oh, yeah, I like that idea a lot. I think we take with the g2 knight. So at the end, we have the option of bishop takes e3. Because if we take with the g4 knight, there's no bishop takes it. Oh, okay, this I don't like. Your bishop's way more valuable than these knights because after the king goes to c1, yeah, you would love a piece attacking the dark squares here, but your knight is only hitting light squares.
Oh, what is the spam?
I would sack the. Hold on. I have to deal with some Twitch stuff real quick, so apologies.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Okay, Mikey-san can push f6 here. Because the queen took on c3, our knight on e3 isn't hanging anymore.
Let's see. Followers only. 1 day. Let's see.
I've never seen something like that before.
I've seen lots of things like that.
All right, and Chuck, let me know if there's anything I can do to help, by the way.
No, don't worry about it.
Okay. We got another time scramble. There have been a lot of time scrambles in this match. But mikeysan and chainemaster are down 5 seconds. Chainemaster's just gonna have to play chess in this scramble. He can't afford to sit for pieces. His partner's just flagging here. Like, it's a hard position to play without pieces, but if you don't move, you're just mating your partner. Or not mating him, but you're causing him to lose on time. Recognition by chainemaster there. It's very hard to do when you're forced to make moves when you have no pieces and your opponent has a million. But there were no imminent mate threats, and by sitting to wait for pieces, you're just losing more precious seconds in the time scramble. So 7-2 in favor of the lit team.
Absolutely. I'm glad I have you guys in the commentator booth because I'm dealing with this other things real quick here.
We aim to please and to inflict misery.
Hey, that's one and the same for me.
There you go.
Chainemaster is an interesting position. I'd like to sack on f6 here and then tempo the queen. But the chess player in FCLitras says I don't like losing my bishop, so he just backs off. Certainly reasonable. So Chainemaster has some nice initiative here, but here I don't like this check. I think he's done this a couple of times in this match where he continues his attack by just checking his opponent's king. But whenever I save king like that, it's a lot of times more useful to attack your opponent's pieces and force them to defend those while you get more pieces on the board. Here he's giving up more material with bishop at f6, but I think rook takes f6 was just fine there. And as Vendango, I'm just claiming a huge material advantage.
Yeah, so that queen is a great defensive piece. The queen on g7. So Vendango seems very safe. Knight at f4 might be coming in soon.
Yeah. So here mikeysan's down on time.
So chainemaster obviously would like a rook for f1. But Vendango in no world has ever given that up.
That seemed unnecessary, giving up the queen with check like that. I think queen d7 was just called for.
Yeah, why not just take that? I would take that.
I think they want to prevent pawn at h6 for mikeysan, which honestly I think is a good decision.
Okay.
Yeah, just let mikeysan clear up everything, and then you're up all of the material that. I'm sorry, let Vendango clean up everything, then you're up all the material that mikeysan sacked, plus the queen that chainemaster sacked, and you're seeing another overwhelming material advantage.
Okay, so queen takes h5 was a threat. mikeysan didn't see it in time there.
Oh, that's a free ball.
One adjustment I'd like to see from mikeysan and chainemaster is being more resourceful with their attacks. So finding good initiative moves that aren't all just sacrificing pieces, because they've had a couple of time scrambles like this where they just have no material, and it's because they gave up everything for good attacks when they could have had similar attacks without losing all of their material. Okay, there's now f7 here. Okay, he doesn't play it, but this is just a time scramble. Oh, you're down 10 seconds though. Okay, chainemaster has to move. Yeah, you might end up getting mated here, but it doesn't matter. Like you just have to pre-move all and hope for the best. Oh, okay. I shouldn't have said it doesn't matter because
this is where
move.
mikeysan finds his magic, but yeah, it was not up time to make use of that magic. So wait, was that
do or die time?
Was that match point or is it?
This is open second. So
open second. Oh yeah. So it scores 8-2, and they need to get 9 with a win by 2 conditions. So match point coming up.
Sakura Kuzi's playing. All right, I'm gonna need y'all to finish up this match so I can watch.
Oh, Snakes! I thought you and me were gonna tear up the random pool.
Yeah, give me like 2 weeks to be off from work for Christmas break, and then it's on like Donkey Kong.
Oh yeah, we're gonna lose so badly.
By the way, it's 2021. That has to be the only "it's on like Donkey Kong" reference that's been made this century.
I think you're right about that.
I should be ashamed, but I'm going to wear it as a badge of honor. I'm proud.
Mikey-san ruthlessly going for an F7 attack, but I really don't think he has enough ammunition.
Yeah, I think this is literally how all of their games have lost.
Oh, no need to sack that queen. That was
generous of Vendango.
That was giving too much credit to Mikey-san.
I mean,
I don't think it's unreasonable to have done that.
So, big picture, you've got an overwhelming lead in the match. You can play conservatively and say, even after I give the queen, I have a huge material advantage, so it's worth it to have extra king safety. But
yeah, and it's
I just think that King D8 was correct there.
FC is safe and on the attack. Yeah, he even has knight at F6 to pick up a queen.
Yeah, but we've got another position where chanemasta is having to play down 59 pieces, which is hard. Like, it's hard to do any situations. Also, it's even harder. Yeah. Like, his opponent's higher rate than him, and he's having to play him down material. It's just not going to work out for your team. Yeah, and I think the match strategy, I think Mikey-san trying to test Vendango's defense is good. Like, I think attacking him and making a game of Bughouse and not a game of chess is what they should be doing. But I would love to see in his future matches he just finds a way to get initiatives without sacking a piece every single turn.
Although FC is handing out pieces like candy. Okay, I guess he's trying.
Well, I mean, he's winning the queen here.
That might be enough.
I mean, honestly, how does
again? Mikey-san is looking for magic, and he's doing a pretty good job at it. I mean, that king is running. Yeah.
Well, they were up 10 seconds. That was very helpful. So he just.
That was a beautiful move.
The mate.
Bishop F5.
He's getting the mate.
That was
move the knight. Move the knight to E6 and preserve the pawn. That's the mate.
Well, pawn C7 and bishop E6 also mates.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He had 2 pawns. Yeah. Again, relentless attacker, Mikey-san, and we were making fun of the fact that they lost a ton of pieces, but they got it done.
Look, I maintain everything that I said. I don't think that the initial sacrifices were justified and think that it put their team in a position to lose. But he was able to win despite that with some really beautiful play. We have to give credit where due. Bishop F5 was such a nice find. It sacrificed a piece, but it had the idea of the queen on D1 being opened up to protect the pawn on D6 and allowed him to deliver really just a beautiful mate. I see what you mean by making something out of nothing. That was gorgeous play from Mikey-san at the end there.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Thanks. When did you become a poet?
You bring out the best in me, Fuzz.
Aww.
Mikey-san probably wants pawns to come in here.
I was wondering.
Oh, not at C7?
Wow. Mikey-san.
Whoa, this man did not just say play King D7. Hold on.
Well, not advisable. Okay, so that's maiden 1. Maiden 1.
Hold on.
So this is the comeback that you've been asking for, Scary Snakes.
No. King D7 is not the comeback that I want. If you told me the comeback came at the expense of Vendango playing King D7, I would say no. I don't want the hype. This man's really just playing King D7. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. He's a real chess player who pushed all of his pawns. But
he does not seem to like defending because he's done not great at it.
Well, it's weird because last game he gave his queen in a position where he didn't have to stay safe, but this game was I don't want to give the queen. I'd rather die.
Maybe he felt last game that was the mistake. That's where he went wrong, was giving the queen. So he thought, nah, we're not doing that anymore.
I've learned my lesson. I'm not gonna lose like that again.
Vendango picking up a little bit of material.
We can take this pawn on E4 though. Oh, queen takes d4.
Queen takes pawn. Let's go. Let's go.
He needs a knight to do that though.
Wait,
No,
no,
he has a knight on
knight takes
d4.
c2.
Oh, yeah.
No, it didn't work.
I
Queen
see.
takes,
Nice.
no, queen takes d4. There was his bishop at a4.
He didn't
Like,
have a
bishop
bishop
at
in
a4
hand though. He didn't have a bishop.
Yeah. I don't know if they could take one, but bishop at a4 is fine as long as
Right.
we can meet it with knight at c6. Like, we have to be able to block with the knight on c6 if there's bishop a4. But nevertheless, it's gone from. I'm a little surprised he didn't find that though, because that is just a chess tactic. But
Yeah.
finding tactics quickly can be hard when you're playing a game. Alright, bishop at a5 looks good to defend the pawn. That's not where the bishop should go.
No.
And okay, all right. So right there, Vendango put his bishop on a terrible square. It is on b8.
Now he finally put it on the right square. A little bit too late. Knight takes pawn. Oh no, knight takes pawn was the move.
Yeah, like mikeysan like gained an advantage with knight b5. He forced his opponent to put a bishop on c7, which is a terrible square. Why would you follow up with knight at d6? Like, you're giving up a piece to eventually liberate this bishop on b8.
Oh, rook mates for chanemasta.
Yeah, rook isn't going to come though, and they don't have any material to force trades. Yeah, chanemasta has to just give up on his attack here, because he's going to wait for the rook, and they're getting down on time. But with the slightest bit of coordination, it's just not going to
Maybe
come.
knight at f1 could be fun. Oh,
okay, so chanemasta gives up his attack and goes queen e1, which is good.
He gave up his attack and also all of his pieces.
Oh, I was gonna say all of his pieces also came as a price. I mean, Vendango's up 7 pieces. That's not good. I think this has got to be the end.
It's great.
I mean,
he's trying to create some magic again. We're gonna see knight at d6.
Not even 12-teen himself could salvage this position.
Oh, that had to have been a slip. There's no way he wants king f8 there. Oh, bruh, don't pawn at b7. That's bullying. Can we report them? You take the knight now, and you can't take back. They have no pieces. Queen takes
and they're up 15 seconds also, and continuing to make strong moves. New knight at c6 would be good, and we see it.
Oh god. Pawn at,
wow.
Pawn at d7. Why?
That's
no
just
one
mean.
This type of cheat. Can we report them to chess.com? Like, this is and knight takes e3 on the other board. What evil people?
Why is Vendango even sitting? It's not like,
I don't know where he's sitting.
I mean, he wants chanemasta to reflect on his life choices, and can you blame him?
I love that they won't surrender. Like, nah, all
Never
the way to
surrender.
the end.
Okay, that was match point though. So final score is 9-4.
That was a fun match. I liked a lot of what I saw from mikeysan. Like, he pulled out some gorgeous attacks, and chanemasta too. Let's give him credit. It looked like he was dying a lot of games, but it's because he was playing down like 5 pieces most games. If this team can learn how to generate attacks without giving quite so much material, there's a lot of potential here. Like, they find the hard moves, so it's just finding some of the more practical moves and not always trying to go for the home run hit. And I think that they could really improve a lot.
I completely agree. I think another thing mikeysan needs is to play with some stronger players. I think most of his bug house has been playing with weaker partners, and against kind of like mid-level people. I think if he gets more experience playing with stronger players, he will improve a lot faster.
So, yeah, there's another thing I would suggest for mikeysan specifically, and I usually don't actually suggest players do this because I don't think it's that useful for Bughouse, but when you are an attacker who needs to learn how to attack more resourcefully and make more happen with less, I actually suggest playing some Crazy House, because in Crazy House, It will teach you, like, you have to use only the pieces that you have, so it teaches you to attack with only a few pieces. Now, for most players, I wouldn't advise playing Crazy House because the way you calculate in Crazy House is very different from Bughouse, and it can make it tricky to get back to in the habit of moving instantly in Bughouse, and it can sort of mess with the way your brain works. But for specifically players who want to learn how to attack more resourcefully, I think playing some Crazy House would be really useful.
I completely agree. And not only that, you can also adjust your playing style a little. Even when you play lower rated people, you can give yourself challenges. So I played thousands of games of Crazy House where I would get up pieces and then tell myself I am not going to drop these pieces. I'm going to consider these pieces in hand as just out of the game. And in Bug House, I would tell myself, like, okay, my partner has handed me a queen and a knight and a bishop, but can I find a mate with 2 pawns instead? So I mean, there's ways to train yourself to work with less pieces by doing that even when you have more pieces in hand.
Oh yeah, for sure. And so is that the lore of how like how your philosophy was born, where you always mate with an existing piece instead of
I mean,
pieces?
in general, I'm trying to learn to do more with less. So it's kind of an exercise I try to employ whenever I can. Okay, so
yeah.
let's. I to my knowledge, there's not any more Bug House World Championship games coming up until perhaps 2:30 p.m. or 3 p.m.
Yeah,
Which
45
I
minutes
don't
from now you've
think
got two
they
back
are
to back.
even going to happen. The 2:30 p.m. one I think has been postponed. We see it on the schedule like 5 different places, or maybe that's actually when it was supposed to be postponed to. Actually,
So
that might be accurate because I think it's like 1930 UTC, which might translate to that in Eastern time.
they posted in the scheduling Discord this morning. So I put the one in the Discord. Any previous ones, probably Cabbage entered in, and I assume that they posted somewhere else.
Okay.
But the 2:30 time is the most recent one that was posted at 9 a.m. this morning. So I assume that it's accurate.
Okay. Yeah. So, that's in about 45 minutes. We could end the stream and start up again in 45 minutes, unless either of you want to partner up and play a little bit, or if we had some matches that we could commentate that aren't